Well, this is where I went to high school. I've been doing this event for years. It's my alma mater. There's nothing more important to me than go back and to give back to the place that changed my life. The place where there were priests, where there were teachers that cared for me, despite what a jerk I was at times, despite my challenges, that there were people there that cared about me. And that I could, and when I had my conversion, I had a place to go to daily mass. A lot of people say that these Catholic schools don't matter. When I had a change, I had daily mass with priests every day. What's more important than that? And you know, really, I can't explain how much this event means to me today.
For centuries, being a Catholic missionary meant traveling overseas with a religious order. But one man, Justin Fatica, a straight-talking Catholic evangelist, and his team of spirit-driven young missionaries represent a new generation of American Catholics. Justin and his team travel by bus across the United States on a mission to awaken everyone they encounter to the power of God's love.
Previously on You're Amazing.
You know why when you hurt somebody they cry? Want to know why? Because you matter, that's why.
Justin is and knows that his heart has always been at prep.
I think it's just taking that risk to go love someone. And if they reject you, they reject you. I think it's being okay with being rejected. Friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What? You too?" I thought I was the only one. C.S. Lewis. That's what we do. We're gonna build these guys. You're gonna see a bond with these men today. You're gonna see these men. You're gonna watch it just before your eyes. You're gonna watch them come together. Sure, it's gonna be messy. Look at me, son. See, some of them might still be swearing. Some of them might still, but you're gonna see them come together like never before. And that's our goal.
Justin and I went to Cathedral Prep together. And I remember him being this small Italian kid in love with himself, as most high school kids are, but he was pretty ripped and athletic, full of himself. He was a jerk to a lot of people at first, before his conversion. He went around acting like a tough guy. That's probably what got him into some fights and such. But after his, he did a tech retreat, he changed, you know, and he started going to daily mass. And it was pretty good to see, because he did undergo a real conversion. He was taking people with headlocks and taking them to church, dragging them into the chapel, evangelizing the only way he knew how in an all-boys school, all rough and such.
Father Regis said, he said, in all my years, he said, I had, you know, just like you, Justin, when you thought you got that girl pregnant, I had over 15, 20 guys come to me and say, I got a girl pregnant. And you know what everyone said to me? That girl better not have an abortion. So just because somebody might not look like an example of Christ doesn't mean they don't have a heart. And that's why sometimes all this church language and, you know, all these things kind of are masks. Because You, Rebecca, let's be honest. You know the church language. Gabrielle, Chris, Jenny, even myself, even Brandon, even you, Nati, you know, and yourself, Joey, you know, how you pray. But that can be a mask for insecurity. It can be a mask that doesn't let you be who you really are, what you've been through, because you're afraid. Some people are pious because it's holy, and some people are pious because they're insecure. Only you know that. I don't know that. Only I know when I do it when I'm insecure, and only I know when only God and I know, and it's hard to figure that out. It's a journey. But I want you to remember that before you judge people. Best practice samples for any bar I've ever had. Just touch the screen and you order here, whatever you want.
I mean, the football game.
Again!
Things with Justin Fatica. We, like Noah said, we met with him last year, and we had a whole assembly with our school, and it was pretty intense, and we all thought it was really cool. And I'm excited for what he's going to show us today. So,
Him being an alumni kind of makes it easier because he kind of been through what we've been through, or so to speak, like what we've done in school. So he kind of knows what we're doing right now. So he can relate easier to us.
Yeah. Because it's just different than anything else, like his intensity and how he presents himself.
Who'd like to knock their friend out real quick here? All right, who you want to, come on over here. You want to knock him out? You want to knock this guy out? Let's give me those jouststicks over here. I want to knock somebody out, all right? You got it, man, you got it. Say Nigel. Say you're powerful. Say
Dude, yes.
Everybody say Will.
Will.
Say you're powerful.
You're powerful.
Will, say I'm powerful. I'm powerful. You ready?
Let's go.
I do that jousting all over the country. So one time we're doing the joust in Paterson, New Jersey. Everybody ever see the movie The Hurricane? Everybody ever seen that movie? It's a good movie. Denzel Washington, check it out. It's a nice movie. It's a nice movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. All right? All right, calm down. No, all right, thank you. But, you know, so in Paterson, it's a tough area. And so we go in there, and all of a sudden they're doing the jousting. The boys are getting like you guys wild, and we're getting them all fired up. And then all of a sudden the two girls get up. And the place is rocking. I'm like, wow, I'm a great speaker. You know, like, I was like, I'm having a good day today. So I get all fired, like, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, now drool's coming out of them. I'm like, ah. It was different than the other events, but it wasn't because I was a good speaker. You know why it was? It's because these girls had a 3-year feud and the fight was ready to happen right there. And I'm getting them fired up for it. So all of a sudden, true story, they start going at bam, bam, bam. All of a sudden the one girl, true story, goes, bam, and cap that girl right in the face. Now, for most people who didn't go to prep, right, that'd be like the worst day of your life. It's like, this is the best day of my life. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, why is that? All of a sudden, like, the whole school's like, oh, no. The teacher's like, no, they're going at it, this and that. And they're wondering, what's he going to do, right? Now, most speakers would be like, stop, stop. But guess what I said? Hit her again! True story, I swear. All of a sudden, the teachers are like, oh my goodness, they're not crazy. He is. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, hit it again. It's going to bring your dad back. Huh? Come on. Let's go. Hit it again. It's going to make all your anxiety and depression go away. It's going to make it all better. Come on, go. The one girl goes, whatever, and she just sits down. Later on in the event, like, you'll get a chance today. I hope many of you, not all of you because we won't have time, but you'll get a chance to share your story. You'll get a chance to maybe share what you've been through, the challenges you faced personally. Later on in the event, they got a chance to share their stories, and the girl got capped in the face, was one of the first to get up. she gets up and she shares about how her dad left. She shares about her mom's an alcoholic. She shares about how she's got depression and the struggles. And I said, how many of you have been through the same thing? How many of you have been through a similar thing that this girl went through? And wouldn't you know, the girl that capped her in the face was the first one to give her a hug. I want to pray for you today. Can I pray for you before we start, if that's all right? I want to pray that today you realize that you do matter.
Back in the day, I didn't always look positively on Father Larry or Justin Fatica. I came from a more conservative, traditional family, and some of the things that he did or incorporated, like the praise and worship stuff, I wasn't open to. And but I've matured and grown since then, and I've come to see and appreciate that God calls people from all different backgrounds with all different gifts, and invites all of us at different occasions to approach ministry in different ways to reach a variety of people.
You never know what somebody's going through. You never know the challenges they face. And today's the day we start pouring our hearts out. Are we going to pour our hearts out, aren't we? Are we going to be all in? Because being all in is like my buddy, one of my best friends, David Tyree, a good friend of mine, who I was there. He got cut by the New York Giants. And when he got cut by the New York Giants, I was at his house. When I was at his house, he had a picture, and he showed it to me, and it was actually the newspaper, the New York Daily News. And on the front page of the newspaper, you know what it said? Hero to zero. Now, you might not know who David Tyree is. David Tyree had the greatest catch in Super Bowl history. People were clapping for him and praising him, saying, "You the man, you the man." But then what happened? He gets cut. And what does the paper say? Hero to zero. He's a zero, right? He's got 6 kids. He takes care of all of them. He's a great husband. He's a leader. He's a zero. I said, that's wrong. I cried with him. I hugged him. I encouraged him. I said, yeah, how does it feel to be rejected? He said, it doesn't feel too good. I go, really? I go, now you know how all people out there feel. Go start changing their lives. Let's go. And you know what? That was a moment in our life. You see, we have a choice to make. Are we all in or aren't we? Are we open? I'm wondering if there's anybody open to really giving it your all today. Because you know what? Honestly, if you're not going to pull your heart out today, there's no point for you to be here. Honestly, call your mommy, your daddy, whoever it is. I don't care. Call your granny if you don't have a ride with mom and dad. Just go. And father wouldn't care. Go home and sleep. I want you to pull your heart out. Because you do matter. You don't realize how much. If you're in, hit that track again. If you're in, I want to say amen. Who's first? One at a time. Who's in? Stand up and say it and mean it. Go for it. All right, stay standing. Who else is in? Let's go. Who else? All right, that's what I'm talking about. If you're in, give that guy a hug next to you and say you're powerful. Say you're amazing. Give that guy a hug. Hey, you're powerful, big guy. Big guy, you're powerful. Let's go, man. Hey, thanks for everything. Thank you so much. You can grab a seat.
I have a lot of things that I struggle with, but I think one of them that I struggle with all the time is my anxiety and like my fear and like lack of self-confidence. But I have like anxiety all the time, and then when I get nervous, it like freaks out even more.
Give it up for these missionaries. I want them all to come up here. Give it up for them. You know, hey, they give up a full year of college. They get paid nothing, but they give that up. So look, you really respect them, and they're just gonna, for a few seconds, share their name, where they're from, and what their biggest challenge was, and what helped them through it in about 30 seconds or less.
My name is Gabrielle O'Rourke. I am from Indianapolis, Indiana, and my biggest challenge has been really loving myself, because deep down I've realized that I really did not feel lovable. So yeah, that's my big challenge.
Hi guys, my name is Chris Heim. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania, so the other side, Philly. My biggest challenge is my challenge with lust. You know guys, we all got it, but and what really got me through that though was really the idea of lack of manhood, you know? And I was bullied a whole ton. And so, you know, that was kind of my escape, was the lust.
All right, my name is Joey Ordaz. I'm 19. I'm from Buell, Idaho, far, far away. My biggest struggle is using girls for their bodies. I mean, in high school, I had everything. I was the athlete. I went to state. I won state, blah, 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 you know. I had everything at the tip of my fingers, and I'd use girls left and right. I dated this girl for 4 years, and every night she'd text me. She'd be like, where are you at? Where are you at? And I'd be chilling with this girl, you know, smoking weed right next to this girl, just chilling every single night. And it killed me every single time I did it. And what got me through it was just this past December, I finally decided to open up that Bible, and it really changed my life.
Well, I don't have a cool accent, but I'm from Indiana. My name is Rebecca, and my biggest challenge is my family and loving them. But also what got me through that was my family, because I saw how much pain they were causing each other, and I just didn't want to add to it, so I knew I couldn't leave them.
Hi guys, my name is Nati and I'm from New Jersey, and my biggest challenge will be just struggling with my past and decisions that I had made in the past that still affect me today, and just accepting myself for like the things that I have done before and not letting it continue to affect me now. And that's just something that I really struggle with still.
So this kid gets up, he says, my dad died, he says. He said, not only did my dad die, but the day before my dad died, I said, I hate you, Dad. Now, how many of you can be real here and say, I've been there, and said to your mom or dad, I hate you, because you wanted something, or it was out of impulsivity, just said, I hate you. Who's ever been there before? Now, picture this kid. The day before his dad dies, he says, I hate you, Dad, right? And the next day, how many of you, I mean, well, he goes, not only did my dad die, he goes, not only did I say, I hate you, Dad, but my dad hung himself. Man, are you listening? Honestly, are you here? What I'm saying is this, is that you matter. That dad probably was having a horrible day, and it wasn't, he didn't do it because of what his son said. It was his choice to do that. But you know what the truth is? That affected it. It probably finalized it. So I know our boys' school. So what I did was I go, who's your best friend? Because I knew this happened in 7th grade, right? So I knew that, I know how boys work. They wait a while to be real. He goes, my best friend's Jose. I go, Jose, come here. So he comes up, Jose comes up. I go, Jose, I got a few questions for you. He goes, yeah, sure. Is this your best friend? He goes, yeah, it's my best friend. I go, what sport does he play? He goes, oh, he plays soccer. I go, really? What position? He goes, oh, midfielder. What kind of grades does he get? He goes, oh, he gets all A's, a couple B's. You're his best friend, right? I've known this kid for 20 minutes. He goes, yeah, I'm his best friend. He's wondering why I'm asking all these questions, right? So I look at him and I go, you're his best friend. Did you know about his dad? Alex looks up at me and he knew the answer. Jose looks at me, tears streaming down his boy's eyes, and he says, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't. You see, in this world, we know more about a car somebody drives than who their mom and dad are. You know why I know about that? Because I grew up with it. That's what life was about. It wasn't about who somebody was. It's about what they did. And that's crap. And that's garbage. And it's wrong. Well, you know what's right, gentlemen? What's right is to know people and love people and care for people. How many of you out there have had a mom or dad die? Raise your hand. All right, man, come on out. Will? Everybody say Will. Will. Say you're powerful.
I'm William Deemer. I'm 16 years old. I am adopted, and I did have one brother, but now I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. And recently I just met my birth family, so kind of an addition to the family.
My birth mother was insane, seriously insane. First thing that she ever did was drop me off at the hospital. First thing. Never told my real family about me until I was 16. I thought I was over, I thought life was terrible. Then I get a letter from my birth sister saying that she wants to see me, that she finally figured out about me. Happiest thing of my life. I get to the bottom of the letter and it says, my birth dad has passed away. And she wants to see me because she wants to add someone else into the family. I get down there, it's her birthday, we have a great time, I leave, and not even a week later, she disowns me. Tells me she doesn't want to see me anymore. I thought it was over. My dad shut down my Facebook 5 times, and I don't know why. A year later, I figure out why. My insane birth mother threatened my sister if she ever saw me again. And she also stalked me 5 times trying to get a hold of me to see where I lived. The only one, my hero actually, is my brother, because my older brother's in the Navy. He came all the way down from Virginia, drove, no sleep, no stopping, all the way up to see me. I was so happy he was only 15 miles away. I called him. I don't get a response back. 5 minutes later, I get a response saying he was in a car wreck. 5 feet away from hitting a tree. I was so scared because I never got to see him, but this is the first time I see him. He almost died. None of my other family members care as much as he does, because for 16 years he doesn't know me, and he busts butt all the way from Virginia to come up and see me.
What do these prep guys mean to you?
You guys are my brothers. As soon as I came in here, you guys all welcomed me. You guys are all my friends. I love you all.
Give it up for him for sharing his heart. You're not the only one. Hold on 1 second. How many of you understand what he's talking about? If you understand it, don't just come get a hug because you're his brother. How many of you, before anyone else was like, how many of you understand what he's talking about, that there's things he's been through? Just one thing he shared, and you're like, I get that, man. I get that. Come give him a hug if you get what he's talking about. Now, the next group, that's good for now. The next group I want to call, how many of you are sitting there going, man, I'm really selfish, man. You know what? When I was in school at prep, I'm so sorry that I did what I did. Because I was all about me. That was my trinity. Me, me, me. And seeing all you boys be real, you're showing me that, guess what, I'm making up. The Bible says in 1 Peter 4:8, it says, above all, let your love for one another be intense, because love covers a multitude of sins. If you want to get rid of your sins, you got to change and you got to love today. You got to get in that confessional, let it all out, every single, and make a change, because it's the only way you can make up for the mistakes you've made. But how many of you have really hurt somebody?
I think it was the cathedral prep event with all the guys, because it's harder for guys to open up than for girls to open up, and just seeing them, like a lot of them go up there and share their story and like encourage each other, go up and give each other a hug and not be afraid to show that they're also suffering, you know? And just being able to just open up with everyone there.
Sooner or later in the event, they asked somebody to come up and share their story, the struggles they've been through. And this kid comes up and he shares his story. And he's just had so many people pass away in his life. I mean, he doesn't have his mom, he doesn't have his dad, he doesn't have his sister, he didn't have anything. And he's up there and he's bawling his eyes out and he's crying and crying. And it was amazing, because all his brothers, you know, because they're a brotherhood, they're just an all boys school. All of them were just dead silent. Some of them were crying with, they were in shock of what this kid had been through. And I remember going up, giving that kid a hug, and I was like, dude, you know, it was a real hug, like you could feel it. It was like, it's something you feel, not something you explain. And it was just the best moment ever, and I asked him to go outside and pray with him, and he gave me a hug, and he was just crying. He's like, thank you, man, thank you so much, thank you so much. And he asked me for my number. He said, I really want to keep in touch with you. And I was like, yeah, I'll call you back in 2 days, because that's when our follow-up is. We do 2 days after an event, and then we start calling people back. He's like, no, I want you to call me today. He's like, I want to keep in touch with you, man. I want to keep in touch with you. I remember his dream, told me his dream was to change the world. And I was like, that's how you're gonna do it, through your story.
Get focused. Get focused. There is a crisis amongst the young people and the families of this nation. It is because of the lack of strong, authentic leadership. In particular, too many of our young men are being trained as wimps and whiners. We need men who are courageous, enough to be willing to die for their Catholic faith. We need men who are real enough to admit when they are wrong and to get back on the narrow path that leads us to heaven. Remember, you're amazing. Pray for the men in our culture to be real, courageous, and obedient to Jesus Christ and our Catholic faith.
Next time on You're Amazing.
I might have you come up, so be ready before confession.
It makes me so happy because it gives me hope that, like, for other girls out there, they might run into a guy that won't take advantage.
How many of you are willing to say you're gonna do everything you can in your heart to save sex till marriage?
Who am I? Who am I? I just couldn't handle myself, but she stuck with me through all of that.